Hey guys, Freedom Uninterrupted here. I want to talk to you all for a second about interrupting women. And this is going to be completely off the cuff, so hopefully it makes sense. So, a little backstory here, and really what's prompting me to talk about this is a funny experience I had this weekend. So, Saturday night, I was at my local bar. I go up there fairly regularly, so I know most of the folks in it. And Anyway, this woman walks in that I was very, very briefly involved with. Her and I chat from time to time. She actually ghosted me, and that's a topic for another day. Basically, for those of you that don't know, about an hour before I was going to pick her up for a date, and this was a while back. I've since been very heavily red pilled, so not that I do this anymore, but at the time, I was going to pick her up for a date, and about 30 minutes before I was going to pick her up, she texted me and canceled, and then I never heard from her again, aside from seeing her in the bar. So, anyway, we're cool now. As cool as I can be with women. And she walks in, and we're chatting for a little bit, and I actually I'd gone up there to see the bartender, who was a friend of mine. And it just so happened I also had a friend that was in town for the weekend, and I told her to meet me up at this bar. And so I'm talking to this woman I was involved with, um, and my friend walks in. Now it's about 10 o'clock. It's getting pretty late. My friend walks in and she sits down next to me, and of course my attention immediately goes to the person I'm actually meeting there. So I basically just immediately started ignoring this other woman. Um, and so about 20 minutes go by, and she's chatting with the bartender and stuff, and talking to the people around her. But you could tell as soon as I started ignoring her, she was pissed. And so this is at one end of the bar, and at a certain point, she decides she's going to walk to the other end. So she stands up, grabs her purse, and as she's walking by me, straight up elbow checks me. I'm not talking I'm not talking accidentally bumps into me. I mean walks past me and whips around with the elbow, gets me right in the right in my oh, whatever the meaty part of your back is, your lat, right in my lat. And huffs off, and I started laughing because it was the funniest thing. And told a few other people about it, and they just, everybody had told us found it pretty funny. So, guys, this is what happens when you ignore women. Now, it's not always a straight up elbow check, but the reaction is always priceless. And uh, give you a couple more examples. Well, I mean, hell, you don't even need examples. So, how many times, for those of you listening, um, how many times have you gone to somebody for advice, whether you've been red pilled yet or not, whether you're still dating women or have dated women in the past? How many times in a relationship or in a courting phase of a relationship has somebody given you the advice to just ignore her and watch her come crawling to you? Now, the first time I heard this advice, I was 13 or 14, first love, and I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. What do you mean I should ignore this beautiful and attractive female that, I want to be involved with? Why should I ignore her? I should do everything to show her how interested in her that I am. And to a man, this makes sense because we're logical creatures. To a woman, not so much. Uh, so, what happens when you ignore a woman uh, is they compensate for the fact that you are not giving them what they want, which is attention. You're not stroking their ego. You're not giving them resources. And now, when I say resources in this context, I don't mean money or food or gifts. I mean even resources like time, compliments, anything like that. Anything that benefits them, you're not giving it to them. And so, When you ignore them, they compensate. Now, one thing I've noticed is this doesn't always work. And this video is not necessarily for the MGTOW community. This isn't necessarily for the red pill guys. This is mainly for those that are still aren't fully buying into the philosophy that women are all insane. They're demons. Run away. Um, so for those of you that uh, are still out there dating, um, you know, my advice, if you ever run into a scenario where you want to get a woman's attention, pay her no attention. So I've recently, anymore, I don't care at all about women. I have no interest in them. Um, I treat them like they carry an airborne pathogen. I mean, if I have to be around them, I have to be around them. But uh, so one thing that I found really fun recently is so I've been going to the gym a lot, and the gym I go to is in a fairly upscale neighborhood, so there are some very, very attractive women. And when you're at the gym with women, they know that you're checking them out. They know this. It's well. Why would? Okay. We can't begin to understand the intricacies of the female brain. Well, maybe Sandman can. Um, and I mean, I guess if I really wanted to break it down, I could figure out why they dress that way at the gym. With the booty shorts and the training bras and shit. Um, so anyway, so they flaunt their bodies at the gym, and they wear all this funky ass, not funky ass, but all of this super slutty shit, and advertise themselves for having a good body and all of that, and they want you to watch them. Now, if they catch you watching too hard, they will call you out on it. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Women are not confrontational creatures, but the expectation is that you will pay attention to them. You will be checking them out. They will casually catch you. They're not going to smile. They're not going to pay you any attention unless on the off chance you are, I don't know, 6'4". You might stand a chance there, or unless your gym shorts are made of $100 bills, then you might stand a chance. But so one thing that I've found really fun to do recently is when I'm at the gym to just completely ignore them, just not even look at them, not even look at them. I call it the 1,000-yard stare. I just look straight ahead at whatever I'm looking at. If there's a woman straight ahead of me, I just look the other way. And out of the corner of my eye, or because it's a gym, I catch the reflections in the mirror. Some of these, I had one, today's Tuesday, I had one yesterday, International Chest Day. I had one that literally followed me around the gym, trying to get me to notice her, or to check her out. And I'm sure some of you out there listening are going to say, well, how do you know she was trying, how do you know she was following you? Maybe that was just her workout routine. Guys, nobody combines, for the most part, nobody combines chest and legs on the same day, unless it's a full body day. But then nobody also will take a break from chest, go on the Stairmaster for 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops, and then come back over to the leg press that I'm by. Nobody does that. I get maybe it's a warm up. I don't know who the hell does the Stairmaster for a warm up, but so anyway, this she's probably 19 or 20. I mean, cute little ass on her. I did catch a glimpse in the mirror. I did catch a glimpse in the mirror. But did I ever actually look at her directly? No. Treat them like Medusa, like you'll turn to stone. And so she followed me around, and I see it all the time, especially at the gym, because they're expecting you to check them out. In other places, not so much. But so that happens with complete strangers, and it's the funniest thing because you can tell that they're trying. You can tell they're trying so hard to get your attention, and you can tell it's eating them up inside um, because you're not giving them attention. Now, for for the guys out there that still talk to women, I still chat with them via the text messages every once in a while. I have some female quote unquote friends. Um, you know what they say: keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But so I still chat with them sometimes, and not that I do this anymore, but back when I was in the back when I was in the dating world, one of my favorite things to do to really get a woman, for the guys listening, what do you call them? What do you call them? Most of the people that I know, so I'm mid to late 20s. Most of the people that I know call them girls or they call them women. It for me, it's hit or miss. Girls rolls off the tongue easier because it's a one syllable word versus women. But anyway, so one of my favorite things to do when I was dating was if I found myself into a female, um, whether I just wanted to be inside of her or maybe just put some food inside of her, i.e., take her to dinner. Um, One of my favorite things to do was to text her, and chat with her a little bit, and then just disappear for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, um, and then watch her squirm. Because what'll happen now, guys, if you're listening, you can't do this on day one. You can't do this on day one. You can't do this. Uh, if you go out on a Saturday night and you meet a girl at a bar and she gives you her number, you can't do that on Sun. You can't do this on Sunday. Um, Now, come Monday or Tuesday, if she really seems in, if she, okay, so little disclaimer here. When I say if she really seems into you, she's not really into you, guys. She wants something from you. Whether that be your cock or whether that be your wallet, she wants something from you. So, one of my favorite things to do here is, you'd go to that day 2 or day 3. Maybe you'd start making plans. And if you really want to get her to just try her hardest, ignore her. 6, 7, 8 hours. And by the halfway mark, some are a little bit more keen to this than others. Some of them, not all of them, take the bait. Some of them just say, yeah, fuck it, I got 10 other guys. I'm texting 10 other guys right now, fuck it, I can miss one. Um, but some of them, and it's hysterical to watch, some of them just take the bait and they blow your phone up. They'll text you 7, 8, 10, 12 times to get a hold of you. And I mean, shit. Like the last female I was involved with, very briefly before I got red pilled, um, I did this to her all the time, and this one wasn't necessarily. I mean, it was intentional and it wasn't intentional. Sometimes my work schedule got in the way. Um, Sometimes I just didn't feel like talking. But the thing that got me about her was uh, this would happen. I would ignore her, and um, A, my phone would get blown up, and B, I would come back to it. And uh, you guys know about Snapchat, right? Anyway, I'd come back and I'd have Snapchats, and I'd have a couple messages. I'd have 3 or 4 text messages, maybe 5, and then I'd have like 3 or 4 Snapchats. And I'd start going through the Snapchats. The first one is something stupid. The next one is a picture of her. The third one is maybe a picture of her smiling, trying to coax me into talking to her. And then the fourth one, or maybe the fifth one, is her in some form of nudity. Maybe she's in the bra and panties. Maybe she's showing full-on snatch. I don't know. I've seen both sides. I've seen all sides of the equation. But that was a lot of fun. So that if anything, and that's an interesting thing, and I want to talk about that. And that's an interesting thing is, how does Snapchat play into all of this for the millennials? Because myself, I know I'm notorious. I open Snapchats far faster than I open text messages. Um, Mainly because I don't have to respond to Snapchats, so I just open them. Plus, I don't know, there's something visually stimulating about uh, the multicolor of the Snapchat versus the single color of the text messages. But am I saying that by ignoring women you'll always get nudes? Not necessarily. Um, what I am saying is, if you want to have a little bit of fun at a woman's expense, ignore her just for a little bit. See how she reacts. Mark your observations. And guys, this is a I might do. I think I'm gonna do a. I think I'm gonna do a second part because I've covered some stuff, but this doesn't cover as much of the as much on ignoring women as I wanted to. I've gotten into the why a little bit and the fun part, and I've gotten into the how. But I don't want to make another 30-minute video, 20-minute video. So I'm gonna wrap this up. But like I said, for you guys out there listening, uh, if you really want to have fun with a woman, just ignore her. Just ignore her, and she will try to suck you back in, maybe in more ways than one. So, all right.